Shalom, shalom, call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Macha Kodash, and Shani Kabad and Gadawala Requabs, Aquanium Nawa, Shalayakim Nawa, and that's the belongs to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalawam, or Barakim, Labakonyam, Shalayasharala, and that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. And also may a double portion of the Holy Spirit be put upon the brothers that are out there on the highways and byways, offering your bodies as a living sacrifice out there on the front lines. So this article just came out a few days ago on the 19th, which I believe was Monday. It came out on rollingstone.com, and the title of this article is Trump says a recession isn't possible because everyone is rich. Now, if that isn't the most ludicrous statement of 2019, then I really don't know what is, because when you look out in the world and you talk to your family and your friends, or even your co-workers, or even just bump into a random stranger at the store, you know that people aren't prospering. No one in this world is truly, beside the wealthy, the super rich, the elite, no one is truly taking vacations like that, going on trips. No one is really spending money out leisurely. No one is window shopping and, oh, I like that right there, let me go in the store and just grab it. People are checking the price tags, checking their bank account, seeing if they can afford it. Everybody is living paycheck to paycheck. No one has money in their pockets right now. Honestly, this was nothing but a comment that Trump made because he knows that the economy is actually on a spiraling downturn, and there's nothing that he can do about it. Just because the stock market is up, and he constantly likes to say that, just because the stock market is up does not mean that the economy is doing well. It doesn't mean that the economy is actually thriving. Look at the people, look at the vibration of the world. You have animals dying left and right. You have whales washing up on the sea. You have bees dying. You have locusts plaguing different civilizations. You have nothing but balls. You have nothing but, balls of trash in the ocean. The whole entire vibration, the rainforest is catching on fire. The whole entire vibration of the earth, not just America, but of the entire earth, the water, the earth, the trees, the air, the people, is at its lowest that it's ever been. Trump understands that. The elites understand that, meaning these Edomites who run the world, they understand that. This statement was nothing more than just to take over the minds of the people and make them believe that everything is okay. And that's the only reason why he said that. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to read this article, and then we're going to jump into some scriptures. So it says, President Trump isn't worried about the economy. No, really, he isn't. Everything is going to be fine. Seriously, all of that talk of a recession last week and over the weekend, spurred by a few ominous market indicators, however you say that word, a sputtering global economy, and Trump's continuing trade war with China, was overblown hype peddled by forces that want nothing more than to make the president look bad. So obviously all of that was nothing but what's the word I'm thinking of? It was nothing but sarcasm, because what came out over this past weekend were many more indicators that were predicting that a recession is right around the corner, that the stock market is actually going to start declining very soon. People were actually even saying that gold was going to reach like around upwards of 1,500. And if gold goes up, that means that the dollar is going down. So all of that was nothing but, I just said it again, sarcasm. It says, after all, how bad could things really be when we're all so rich? More sarcasm. Now, this is what Trump said. I don't think we're having a recession, Trump told reporters on Sunday in an attempt to quell fears over a potential market crash. Let's look up the word quell. In an attempt to quell fears, it says over a market crash. Quell, it says to thoroughly overwhelm and reduce to submission or passivity, to subdue, to put down, to silence, or to force. So everybody understands. If you're watching the news and you're into, I'm going to say, microeconomics, and you're watching the state of America and you're into different articles, everybody knows that a recession is right around the corner. Everybody knows that nobody is rich. that people are truly living paycheck to paycheck, and Trump knows that. And so, what does he try to do? He tries to make a statement in order to quell everybody's fears, to reduce their fear, to reduce their anxiety, to put it down. It says over a potential market crash. We're doing tremendously well, he goes on to say. Our consumers are rich. I gave a tremendous tax cut and they're loaded up with money. Who? Who is he talking about? Who's loaded up with money? I'm living paycheck to paycheck. My family's living paycheck to paycheck. I know plenty brothers living paycheck to paycheck. My co-workers living paycheck to paycheck. So this man is just saying anything out of his mouth in order to quell the fears of the Americans. He goes on to say, I don't see a recession, he continued. I mean, the world is in a recession right now. So now he just randomly out of nowhere just takes back what he said. He said, I don't see a recession, he continued. I mean, the world is in a recession right now. So stupid. Although that's too big of a statement, this man has lost his mind. This doesn't exactly inspire confidence, nor does citing his 2017 tax cut, which very much did not load consumers up with money. Despite what Trump promised prior to the tax cut's passage, the bill did not result in soaring wages for workers. The deficit has skyrocketed, and the primary beneficiaries have been corporations and the wealthiest Americans. Jake don't own corporations. Not all of us, not the majority of our nation. Who's that? That's the Edomites who prosper in the world. It says the beneficiaries have been corporations, meaning the people that own these companies, these wealthy Edomites, and the wealthiest Americans, which are the same people. So check this out. These are the ones that are actually prospering in the world. The wicked who own corporations, they're getting richer and richer. Psalm 73 verse 1 all the way down. Okay, it says, truly the Most High, a Psalm of Asaph. Truly the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart, meaning of a sober mind. You've been washed by this word. All right, a holy mind. It says, but as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So the wicked is actually prospering right now. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Now check this out. When you go into that word bands, for there are no bands in their death. The Hebrew word for bands is har-tazabah. Har-tazabah. And it says bond, fetter, paying, hands, bonds. It says bonds, figuratively, pain. You even jump down here to the Chaldee lexicon and you see it says griefs right here. So now let's go back. For there are no bands in their death, meaning all their life there is no worry. There's no worry up to their death. There's no struggle. There's no bonds. They're not held down. They don't walk around in fear. They don't walk around in sorrow. They're not struggling at all. Why? Because the rich are getting nothing but richer. The wealthier are getting nothing but wealthier. Why? Because they're wicked. This is their world. This is their time to be rich. And we understand that, and it's fine. For there are no bonds in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Because the rich, the wealthy, the wicked, they live in the best neighborhoods, in the best houses, eating the best foods from the best restaurants, drinking the most clean water. Their children are going to the best schools, private schools, and so they say, right? And then their children are even going to the best doctors. They got the best health care, everything. They're not plagued like other men. They're not in trouble like other men. They come outside, they leave their door unlocked. Their neighbors aren't thinking about stealing from them because their neighbors are wealthy. They got their doors unlocked. Their children are going outside and having fun, riding bicycles up and down the street, not worried about anything. No fear in the world. It says, therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. These Edomites, these wicked, They wear their chains to bed. They wear pride to bed. As soon as they wake up, oh, pride. They be yawning pride. Oh, pride. The rich are getting nothing but richer in this world. You see, there's no worry. If this scripture doesn't truly, these scriptures so far haven't really captured the essence of these Edomites who are the so-called white people, I don't really know what does. It should be so clear and so easy to see who the wicked are, who these Edomites are today. That's the biblical nationality of the so-called white people. They're the Edomites. They're the wicked. They're the one prospering in this world. Now I'm going to keep reading because I'm jumping the gun and I've done it many times. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain, because they're wealthy. They have so much money. They don't care about anything. It makes them prideful. They think nobody can see them. Nobody can touch them. Violence covereth them as a garment, because that's all they think about. These elites, they think about deception and violence and lies. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They're the only ones truly right now that's walking by window shopping, not even looking at the price tags, not looking at their bank account. Oh, throw it in the bag. Forget fabulous. These Edomites are the ones throwing it in the bag. It says, verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Now, I don't even have to speak on that verse. You already heard what Trump said about Baltimore about 2-3 weeks ago. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Yeah, because they're anti-Messiah. Everything that the Elohim said was good in the book of Genesis, the first chapter, these Edomites, these wicked say it's not good. They say it's bad. They have to change it. They have to reverse it. That's why they have to establish their own laws. Even though they say in God we trust. Well, hold on. God has laws. How come you have to create your own constitution? That's how they set their mouth against the heavens. Verse 10 says, therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. Everybody in America is drinking up everything that these elites say, because they're so rich, because they're so wealthy. They just listen to them. Matter of fact, that even goes for our people. It even stands for our people, like, because he's been in the news, I'm going to just say it, Jay-Z. Jay-Z will talk about politics, and all of a sudden our people will listen to it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Kanye, he'll say something about politics. You know, he's in there with Trump sometimes, and our people will just hearken. They'll listen to him because they got money. But for the most part, it's because these Edomites are just rich, and because they look like they're such civil human beings, they're such moral citizens in America, and they wear suits and ties, then our people listen to everything that they say. They drink a full cup of their lies. Now, verse 11 says, and they say, how doth the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. That's talking about the Edomites. They're the only ones that are increasing in riches. And as we just read right here, I still have it highlighted. It says the primary beneficiaries have been corporations and the wealthiest Americans. Who are the wealthiest Americans? All you have to do is look outside, go walking down the street. Just be observant. Look around you. The only ones that are walking down all happy and smiling and jolly and skipping are these Edomites, who are the so-called white people today. They're the wealthiest ones that own all these corporations that are benefiting from, I guess, whatever tax cuts that Trump is doing. They're the ones prospering. They're the only rich ones. So when he said right here, I don't see a recession, I mean, I'm going to go up to this one right here. I don't think we're having a recession, Trump told reporters on Sunday. We're doing tremendously well. Our consumers are rich. When he said we're doing tremendously well, he was referring to his nation, his people, the Edomites. Our consumers are rich. He's referring to his people, because our people aren't consuming jack squat. We're not out here buying shoes. going on shopping sprees, buying jewelry whenever we please. He's referring to his people. He could give a damn whether us, the true Israelites, the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans are thriving. He doesn't care about no tax cuts for us and more money in our pockets. He's talking about his own people. And we have the Bible to prove it. We just read it, Psalm the 73rd chapter. Now, let's take his statement and let's just say hypothetically, right? Now that the point's been proven, let's jump to a different topic. Let's just, and this is going to be real quick, I'm about to close out. Let's just assume what he said was true. Let's assume that everybody was sort of kind of rich. Everybody had a little bit of money in their pockets. Things were okay, right? Well, let's read what the Lord said through our forefather Zephaniah. This is Zephaniah 1, verse 14, all the way down to the bottom. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. And it truly is hasting greatly. You can look into the world and compare prophecy and understand that we're living in a time in which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is starting to visit the world in which he created. Now the day of the Lord isn't here, which means that this prophecy has not been fulfilled. But guess what? The great day of the Lord is near. It hasn't happened. I'm sorry. Let me take back what I said. The great day of the Lord hasn't happened. Let me rephrase it. It hasn't happened. That's why we know this prophecy is still standing. It has to be fulfilled. But the great day of the Lord is near and it hasteth greatly. Okay. Now let's keep reading. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. We're talking about a time that's going to be in America, a time that's worse than what the world has never ever seen before. This is the great and terrible day of the Lord. Now verse 18 says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. So even if everybody was just, everything was peaches and cream, and everybody was living cozy and had a little bit of money in their pockets, it still doesn't matter. The Lord would do something to flip everything upside down at an instant. And guess what? Neither their money, when it says their gold, their silver, nor their gold, the modern day silver and gold, what everybody uses to trade, is the US dollar. So your money isn't going to benefit you in the day of the Lord. It doesn't matter. An economic crash is coming. A recession is coming to America, which is going to spiral to an economic recession or global collapse, I should just say, throughout the entire world. So your money isn't going to be able to deliver you in the day of the Lord's wrath. It says, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So I just wanted to touch on this article, okay, from Rolling Stone. Trump says a recession isn't possible because everyone is rich. It really doesn't matter. We know who is rich, not everybody. The Edomites are rich, the wealthy, the wicked, who prosper in the world. And then two, the second point being, even if that was the case and people were rich, it really doesn't matter. Your money is not going to be able to benefit you in these days to come. What's the true riches? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's going to be the stability of your time and the strength of your salvation. Having faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and understanding and knowing that he's going to deliver you. That's the true riches. That's what's going to make you actually be confident when the economy crashes, when the recession hits. You're going to be walking around confident, knowing that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is watching over you. That's what it's all about. getting the wisdom from the scriptures and having faith in the Lord. But with that being said, I pray that the elect was edified. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kodash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.